Apologies, apologies, apologies if that's on your side. Ugh. Apologies, apologies if the signal keeps cutting on your side. But anyway, we here. Um, damn man, I've been having I woke up having premonitions. I don't know. Seeing as how I'm 27 years old and I just been having premonitions. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about life and all that, like where I stand and all that. You feel me? Thinking pretty hard. Try, you know what I'm saying? I woke up having premonitions. You feel me? And there haven't been there haven't been really gentle premonitions. You know, like for one, I woke up having premonitions about my young life. You know that you know I'm just gonna be open a little. Grew up without a dad. Grew up without a dad. You know, and growing up without a dad took a whole lot out of me. You know, well, being a young teenager or whatever, or being a young man like that, you don't really think about the wrong that you're doing. You're just in the moment, right? In the moment, you're experiencing that, all of that, growing up and what, and all that, right? But there are things that really don't come straight. Feel me? Uh, that is to say, one may argue that it is normal for a young boy to want to chase girls or whatever, or to want to approach girls, right? Well, here's where it differs a little. You see, the situations of people, the circumstances of people, they're not the same. You know what I'm saying? And I won't really come here and lie about my background. My background was never good at all, as well. Not to say at all, entirely, like at all, not good entirely, entirely. But my background was it wasn't as advantageous as others, if I may put it, if I may me be frank. You feel me? And I've had I've had my downfalls. Uh, I've had my regrets. I've lived life more. You know, let me just say, a kid growing up without a dad, best believe that their adult life is gonna, not be as good. Maybe one would want to argue, but I mean, especially if you're a young boy, being a young boy, you'd want to have, you know, uh, a little extra support. You'd want to have a little extra advice, or a little extra helping hand or something. Not like necessarily to say money wise and all that, right? But like for one, telling your son, hey yo son, look, work on yourself. Work on yourself first. Work hard on yourself first, son. You know what I'm saying? And then the females come second, or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Things like that. And I never had such an experience. You know, I never had such an experience, and it I hate to sort of be somebody who's dragging myself down, but growing up without a dad, it came up stunting me for real. You know what I'm saying? Growing up without a dad, it came up stunting me. Real talk. it came up spoiling, every ounce of mental fortitude, every ounce of emotional fortitude that I would have been in the chance of having. And I won't lie, come to you guys and lie and not talk about how I came up, type things. Some of you guys who actually view these lives, and I wanna say that I'm thankful to some of you guys who actually view these lives. You feel me? I'm really very, 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 very thankful. I'm talking, of course, about the regulars who view these lives. I'm thankful to you guys, at all times. You know, willa, willa, willa. I mean, I'm really, really thankful. I'm grateful. You know, um, um, we're on 187 subs, and I'm hoping for 200. These 200, I don't know. That's what I'm hoping for. 200 subs. Feel me? Cause we're on 187 right now, and I don't know. Let's just keep it going. What we doing though? Where we at? You know? Hold on for a second. Kablam. I don't know. Maybe things like um, knowing beforehand that things like heartbreak exist, things like rejection exist. You feel me? Maybe that would have at least made things a bit better. Maybe I partially wouldn't have turned out how I turned out. You know? Maybe I would have partially turned out how I turned out. That is to say, if I had my dad, you feel me? Well, I know the guy, of course. I know him, but not having him in my life as a young boy, it really messed me up. You know what I'm saying? It really messed me up. And I don't want to come on here and lie about who I am. You feel me? However it sounds to people, it sounds however it sounds, and it's okay. It's really okay. And but then real is talk, real is talk. And being 27 and all that, being this grown man that I am, you know, um, I guess that you could say that I wouldn't want the same for my son. If you feel me, I wouldn't want the same for my son. I wouldn't want the same for my son. Not knowing certain things that'll be happening in the world and all that. Because you know how it is with women, bro. Women, bro, women is just women. Feel me? No matter what happens, women are just women. Feel me? And raising a son by yourself as a woman, it must be the hardest thing, dog. You know what I mean? Especially if like there's no one supporting you like that, or especially if no one is like really just like, feel me? And it's like you yourself and your family. Some of your family members helping or assisting or whatever. Either way, you feel me? Raising a kid is raising a kid, but certain aspects, certain factors in a kid's life will always come up missing. You feel me? Like things that have to be personally, introspectively worked on. In terms of the kid. In terms of the kid, you feel me? And I just want to say though, like I don't really want my son. I wouldn't want my son coming up being like that. I'm telling. Just to be frank, I'm telling. I really wouldn't. Um, I don't know, which is why I guess that I'm nitpicking what I'm doing. nitpicking what I'm doing. I'm not just doing things out of feeling pure stimulation and all that. You feel me? Uh, I'll be gauging what I'm doing. I'll be gauging how I'm moving. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I try. You know, I'm gauging how I move. I'm gauging how I make my moves. I'm gauging how I go about my life, even. You feel me? And it hasn't been easy. Then again, I will repeat, I'm not perfect. I'm not a complete human being. The only thing there is just me trying what I'm trying. And the story. And if this is me coming to the world as I am, then this is how I am. 27-year-old dude who probably doesn't even know what he's really doing right now, but hoping that the story is inspirational to somebody out there somehow. Get what I'm saying? But either way, man, we walking today. That's what we doing. We walking. Hold on. That's what we doing. Today, what we doing is we walking. Wula wula. What we doing today is we are walking. Feel me? It is a long walk to freedom after all. You feel me? What we doing today is we walking. And where we at? We at KBN. Singapore Wayne, 1205. My only hood, the only Kasi that I came up in. You feel me? Where we at? KBN 1205. You know? No, I'm not doing much. I'm just taking a walk while I'm venting on stream about certain things. No, for real. My 18-year-old, 19-year-old self, bro, I would spank him in the butt. Realist talk. I'd spank him in the butt. For one, Ula. For one, there are associations that this guy shouldn't have made. There are associations that this guy shouldn't have made. Feel me? My younger self. That's why I say that I'd spank him in the butt. I'd spank him and spank him and spank him and spank him and spank him in the butt. Real is tough. Because the associations that this guy made, I don't think that he was really supposed to make these associations. I don't even think that he was supposed to be even taking certain things really personal like that. That is to say, I don't think that he should have been following other people's ideals, what other people want, what other people expect of him and all that. He wasn't even supposed to be on those vibes. Hence, that's why I woke up venting on this whatever, this live, you feel me? Hoping that it somehow reaches someone out there. Young Todd. The fact that, hey, sometimes in life, dog, we make these decisions, we make all these choices that we're really not sure about because we want to make friends, because we don't want to be lonely, because we don't want, in our minds, we don't want life to be boring. Feel me? And because of our backgrounds, our different backgrounds, because our backgrounds, how we grew up, it's not the same. It's not the same, and it's probably not even gonna get through to the head of some people. But how we grew up as individuals is not the same. So I grew up without a dad, meaning that, you know, of course, obviously, certain aspects of my life were gonna come up missing. You know what I'm saying? Type things. Now that one is obvious. Young feel. So we're not the same. Feel me? Our lives ain't the same, our situations ain't the same, we ain't grow up the same. And it really doesn't matter if, you appeal to a certain type of group or you don't. It really doesn't matter. Feel me? It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is that you're living life And you're learning as you grow. You're growing as you go. You feel me? That's what matters. None of this other stuff. Feel me? Realist talk. But for real, like my mama came up like the man and the woman to my life. Like my mama was like the man and the woman. Although like, a woman is gonna be a woman. She's obviously gonna be able to figure out certain things while certain things lack because she needs, the assistance of the man or whatever to a degree. And it doesn't even have to involve money entirely. You understand that? Realist talk. Realist talk. It doesn't even have to involve money and all that. You understand me? It doesn't. You being there for your kid, as a man, as a male, yeah, there are aspects of it that have to include money and paying for things and paying for Medicare or something. You feel me? There are certain things that include money, obviously, like paying for a child's education or whatever. You feel me? Paying for a child's uh, welfare, basically. You know what I'm saying? All in all, paying for. Feel me? You pay for certain things on this planet, bro. That's how we live on this planet, my nigga. Feel me? But at the same time, it's like, yo, that child, man, you not being present, for the fact that you were not present, for the fact that you were never there to, hold one-on-one gesture type of conversations or whatever, like, or you were never there for dialogues. Feel me? It's gonna make a whole difference in how that person turns out to be as an adult. Feel me? It's gonna impact a whole lot. You understand that? And I mean, you being there for a child really doesn't have to include money at all. Feel me? There are certain things that let me just put it like this. Since you are a person with more experience in the world, since you are refined and developed cerebrally, since you have experience, you nurturing your child as a man, as a father, doesn't always have to be entirely money-based. You don't feel? Doesn't. Feel me? It doesn't. And also the women must remember that raising a child isn't entirely money-based. You feel me? It's money-based. Yeah, you gotta pay for Medicare, you gotta pay for education, you gotta pay for the overall welfare of the child, right? But how a child really comes up, a good person, isn't entirely based upon the amount of money or the amount of luxury that is afforded. Feel me? Because that's an illusion. Feel me? That's illusory. That's delusional. Feel me? Because how the child comes up, it is totally not going to be entirely based upon the amount of money that you are able to cough up or the lifestyle of luxury that you are able to afford. There are things like talking, communicating. You feel me? There are things like brainstorming. You feel me? So you may make your money and be rich and be whatever and be this and be that. But as long as you don't get to have a real talk to talk with your child, how do you really think they're gonna come up? You feel me? How do you think they're gonna come up? Realist talk. Who's with us today? Who's with us today? And it reads Mudakir. Right, thank you. Well, I'm told. How do you think that your child is gonna really come up if all that you have to afford or offer is money, how do you think that your child is really going to come up? How do you really think that your child is going to come up? Of course, your child is going to grow confused, grow up confused. Of course, your child is going to grow up stressed. Of course, your child is going to grow up easily agitated. Feel me? Of course, of course, that person, that little human being, is going to grow up to be a bitter, angry human being, just angry and bitter about everything. What do you think is going to happen? Do you really think that you're going to grow up to see that kid be normal? Think about it. Think about it. Do you really think that you're going to grow up? I mean, do you really think that that kid that you chose to abandon because of money, because of the necessity of money, do you really think that if you abandon that kid, do you think that that kid is going to grow up to display all signs of normalcy? Do you really think that it's going to be like that? Because either way, dog, you know, we have disagreements in the world. We don't agree on the same things. That's for sure. That's for sure, without a doubt. But riddle me this. Riddle me this. To both men and women. To both men and women. Riddle me this right here. Do you really think that you denying your child his or her father is gonna make this person come up to be a good person, like a really genuinely good person? And to the father, do you really think that you being passive with just giving money and just throwing money at everything is gonna warrant that your child comes up a good person? That's my question to you. That's my question to you. Do you think that as a man, having only the power of money to talk for you in everything when it comes to raising your child is going to be the core basis of how they come up good hearted, polite, and considerate and compassionate? Do you really think they're gonna come up like that? Or they're gonna come up on some shiesty nonsense? You know, they're probably gonna come up on some shiesty nonsense. Feel me? They're probably gonna come up on some shiesty nonsense. They're probably gonna come up entitled. They're probably gonna come up full of themselves to the brim. They're probably gonna come up not knowing anything about consideration, what it is to be considerate, right? So just riddle me that. Riddle me that. Feel me? Apologies if the signal keeps cutting, glitching, that. Apologies for that. Do you really, in your right mind, do you really in your right mind think that having access to only just cash and what is gonna warrant that your child grows up to be a good person? Just cash, just money, just affording your child luxury and leisure only is gonna make sure that your child comes up a good person in society, considerate. But do you really think that that is a reality? Make that make sense to me. And feel, of course, basing it off my story. Of course, I grew up without a dad. Enjoy, enjoy. So, do you really think that justifying why you must be there for your child using money as the means of mainly broadcasting or expressing what it means to be a father, do you really think that is going to breed about a responsible, kind-hearted, polite child who's just down to earth and just wants to see the good in everything? Genuinely, do you really think that that it's a reality that's going to materialize? Mm. Or maybe you guys are just linearly rich, pessimistic people. I don't know. Along those lines. I may not know. Because everything is a matter of genetics, right? There are probably people out here that I may not know of and probably don't even care about who are just linearly, ignorantly rich. Like it's been a lineal thing, it's been a genetic thing, a thing that's been passed down to be just ignorant and just be full of yourself to the brim because your family grew up rich, now you're rich, so we're rich, we're all rich, 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 rich. And so you think now, yeah, yeah, well, come on, yeah, I'm rich. So what? It's like, so what? And then it's like, yeah. But then, see, the thing about rich people is that they come up not having certain skills. That's the thing. You may have an amount of money, but there are certain skills that you're going to freaking lack. That's for sure. And how's that going to come up for your child, for your lineage? Tell me about that, rich person. Tell me about that, rich person. Feel me? This is reality, nigga. This is not some psychedelic prayer induced reality. This is reality. This is reality. We don't feel. But anyways, Ivona, I'm not being personal, young Tola. It's just something, an expression, an idea that I woke up with. Of course, basing that idea upon the fact that I myself grew up without a dad. One. Pretty much. And if you were listening in, shout out to you, bro. Have fun. You made it this far. As I'm about to end this live, let's talk. As I'm about to end this live, if you came this far, well done to you. I mean, well done. The hell, I'm black, bro. I'm black. I'm Swati. Yeah. Happy Heritage Day to many South Africans. Happy Heritage Day to many South Africans. Today is Heritage Day in South Africa. Happy Heritage Day. Feel me? Happy Heritage Month, where we simply commemorate heritage, roots, where we come from, who we really are, where we originate, and all that. Feel me? Happy Heritage, Happy Heritage Day today. If you are in South Africa, I'm Swati. I'm Swati, and I'm a proud Swati guy. I'm Swati, and it's not because I'm Swati because in Nelspruit, they be talking Swati and teaching it as a first additional language type of thing. I mean, no, hold on. Oh, because they be teaching it as a home language. Yeah, it's not because I speak Swati because I'm from Nelspruit and because in Nelspruit they be teaching Swati in school as a first, as a home language or whatever. And because of some politically motivated stunt or whatever that I probably don't care about, it's not because of that. It's because I'm genuinely Swati. End of story. My dad is Swati. Me and the guy, we have our issues, but either way, you know what I'm saying? Uh, he's my dad. He's my blood. Feel me? Feel me? At the end of the day, he's my dad. He's my blood. You know, regardless of how I came up, though, he my blood. He my blood. End of story. Feel me? And I come from his lineage, meaning that his lineage is the reason why I'm even here in the first place. Type things. You feel me? So, hey, who's on about? Why? So yeah, man. Despite of however a nigga came up, my dad is still my dad. You feel me? My father is still my father, and I'm Swati. You feel me? I for the fact that I know that I'm like Swati, you feel me, and like I'm not even generic, it sort of makes me have a flex. It sort of brings about a flex to know that idea alone. That yeah, I'm Swati. I'm Swati. I'm not one of those people who were scattered during wars and whatever, and during other displacements. I'm Swati. Sort of makes me, no, no, no. Technically, Jomo is like Zulu. Technically, so Jomo is like Jomo Mkabel, whatever. So Jomo is like Zulu, basically. I believe, if I recall correctly. So he was one of the commanders. He was one of the commanders or something for he was one of the commanders because if I remember correctly, during those ancient times of the Nguni ancient times or whatever, ancient times, whatever, it doesn't matter because our history is even displaced. We don't even know most of it. Some of us don't even know all of it. Our history is displaced as South Africans, as Africans. We don't even know most of it. Anyways, so what I know about this guy, Jomo, where I came from supposedly, is that um, he was a commander of war. Yeah, something like that. He was a commander. He was a commander of an army. Yeah, that's what I know. My ancestor, Jomo, he was commanding an army. I think Shagas or something. Yeah, I think Shagas. Like one of the initial armies, if I'm not mistaken. My ancestor Jomo was commanding one of those armies. Young Feel. So that's what I know. And then what I know as well is that as the wars continued, he then moved towards other parts of the southern tip of Africa. Namely, he ventured into Swaziland, of course. He ventured into Mozambique. I know about that one. He ventured into Zambia-ish, yeah, something like that. And then he ventured into other parts of Upper Malawi-ish or something. That's what I know about my ancestor, Jomo. Yeah. About the guy who probably made it possible for me to even be here in the first place. That's what I know about him. That's what I know about that guy. You feel me? That's what I know about that guy, Jomo. Shout out to Jomo, anyways, my ancestor. Since I'm a Mkabela, you feel me? So I feel myself. I know where I come from. I'm proud of where I come from, and happy Heritage Day. If you're in South Africa today, it's a beautiful sunny day. Feel me? Young Fida. Them kiddies got their traditional outfits going on. Everybody got their traditional outfits going on, man. Feel me? Shout out to everybody. Donning the attire of their different clans. Um, some of us are aware of where we come from, our different clans in South Africa. We're very, very proud of our clans, where we come from, our cultures, you feel me, our ways of living, our ways of life. We are proud of ourselves as Southern Africans. That is to say, the furthest tip of the south of Africa. That's where I am from. The Republic of South Africa. With its many tribes, with its many cultures, with its many ethnicities, with its many, many linguistic dialects. Uyangithola, uyangithola. And I'm very proud to be South African, either way, with the problems, with the complications, with the economic strife, with this and that. I'm very proud to be South African. And no matter what they said about South Africa, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Because we steady coming up. Real talk. Dog, what the hell is this? Yeah. Always some story. Where are we going? We're heading on over to Auntie's place. I wanna pick up some. I wanna pick up something at Auntie's place and then be on my way back home. Yeah, Dexter, hi. How you doing? Yeah, it's Heritage Day in South Africa today. My language is Swati. Like as in I'm Swati. I'm not one of the displaced ones. Fortunately, I'm Swati. Like genuinely. I don't know what your language is. I'm Swati. And if you're in South Africa, man, happy Heritage Day, happy Heritage Month. I hope that you remain proud of your culture. I hope that you remain proud of where you come from, who you are. I hope that you remain proud of the strides that your ancestors made. I hope that you remain proud of all the efforts that your ancestors had to put in order for us to be even here right now. Real talk. Feel me? No doubt. No doubt. So, we here. We here. We are here. We are here. Oh well, this is at my auntie's place. Also my workplace, of course. You know, I work for I work for auntie in order to earn a little something. So without auntie, I wouldn't be anything. Real talk. And Morani, yeah, I'm about to end this live. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna come back on the next one. I hope you're gonna be tuning in.